Welcome to American New Network. This is Relate to Great. Your boy is Greg G. We in
I
here
thought this was
chopping it up. Another episode related to Relate to Great. Of course, we got the mogul, the icon. No words need to be said. Dame Dash in the building. And of course, we got Johnson Garcia, one of the best barbers on earth.
You already know it.
So y'all tune in, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, American New Network, download, share, tell everyone about it. We're the #1 trending, even when we're not trending. We outside. That's what it is. So of course, guys, let's talk about it. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that I think one of the biggest topics that has been spoken about today. The fight last night between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
That was a serious fight. You know, Cam had put me on the line with Devin Haney's father and Bill. And, I like that he's like, a street guy.
Mm-hmm.
He could talk that talk.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the sport. He doesn't back down. I think it's cool to see a father support their son in that way. And, just watching them both kind of support each other. So I'm not going to lie. I thought that Devin Haney, I thought it would be easy work for him. Only because after I saw Ryan Garcia lose the Tank, and then the way he had been acting, like there was a moment, and I thought about it toward the end where I was like, oh, he's doing that Muhammad Ali thing. Because when Muhammad Ali fought Sonny Liston, they all thought he was crazy and all this other stuff. But regardless of whether he was pretending he was crazy or not, I personally didn't think that his left hook would have. I guess I didn't know his left hook was that wicked, just based on the way Tank had stopped him, and also I think we all lost faith in him because when the fight happened with Tank, it looked like he quit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he actually did.
So it was like for boxing, taking a knee or quitting on the stool is like damn near suicide for being thorough in boxing.
Especially being a Mexican too.
Yeah. So and then his last fight, it was all right. I didn't know if I was sold on him doing that all the way around to the back shit, but I was impressed that fight. Like I thought that he still, like I had lost total faith in him after Tank. But what I realized also was that he was really light when he fought Tank, and that when he came through and was like, "Yo, I'll give you 1.5 to get those extra pounds," I had a feeling that he was like, if I'm heavy, I could take those punches, and he might not be able to take that left hook. But I'm not gonna lie, Ryan, from a fight fan, and again, like if I didn't know or had never spoke to Devin Haney and his father, I'd be straight up like, yo, he fucked him up. And, I think that Devin Haney showed a lot of heart. But, I mean, he knocked him down so many times and broke his jaw. And then he did the Ali pose on him. It was almost like too strategic. Like, and then, he really, he put the beats on him, And I'm curious to see what this does to Devin Haney in his career, the discipline that, I thought that he took it and wore it like a gentleman, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of bad blood between them. A lot of shit was being talked.
Yeah, it was.
When Ryan drank the beer at the press conference, I was like, that's a gimmick. I was like, that's when I started to think he was like pretending, but I still, despite that, I didn't think that left hand could get, because to me, when I look at Devin Haney, it feels to me like they study their opponent and they're very strategic and there's a lot of discipline. I just thought that regardless of how much shape that Ryan Garcia was in, I didn't think that he could do that. But I thought, so now I have a whole nother outlook on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely part of that. You know, you like, yo, I told you so. You got to wear that. What I like is other boxers are respecting it. They like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that shit, and you know, you got to give Devin Haney his props. He kept getting up, and then I think he was like, this is the worst night of my life. You know what I mean?
Well,
and he's gonna learn from it.
Some
But
people feel like he didn't take it as serious because he wasn't losing anything. He
was taking that shit serious.
I mean, because you got to think about it, he didn't lose the belt.
You can't get hit like that.
I mean, now that he got hit like that, but I think he looked at it from Ryan's last outing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too good, but that's
he wanted to fuck him up.
Yeah, but that's what
like
I
every
was saying.
second of that fight, it looked like he was trying to fuck him up.
Yeah.
I think, like his father said, he got caught with that first left in the first round, and he never could recover.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't ready for that.
Because I looked at his last outing versus Ryan's last outing, and what I was saying, I was like, I honestly believe Lomachenko beat Haney. And when I was looking, and when I was looking at that fight, it didn't seem like he was the same fighter that was as hungry.
He didn't beat the shit out of him though.
He beat him for 12 rounds to me.
But Lomachenko is not a sucker.
No, he's not a sucker.
Like, he can really fight.
And so that's what I'm saying.
So, but when somebody even laughs with Lomachenko, I give him some props. Like, you lasted with Lomachenko, he's decent. You know what I'm saying?
And I think everybody from the last outing with Ryan, they were going off what Tank did to him as if he 100%. Wasn't a validated fighter.
But also the antics.
You got to sell it out. You got to sell it out.
Yeah, but those were a lot of antics.
Yeah. I mean, look at...
Like, he was on some off-the-wall shit, but he was doing it intentionally. He seemed a bit unhinged.
So do you think that changes
the
boxing rankings and the outlook on boxing? Because he was the undisputed.
I think what he did was, I don't care about the rankings. I think for the sport of boxing, it was one of those Muhammad Ali moments, but the YouTube version of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, where it looked like David versus Goliath. Mm-hmm. Like this, it definitely to me was a historic moment in boxing. It's definitely going to be candidate for Fight of the Year. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, unfortunately for Devin, Ryan Garcia talks a lot of shit.
Did you see anywhere in that fight where you felt like Devin was showing any promise of like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what rounds would you say that?
I don't remember the round, but there was a couple of times, because what would happen is, you know, he would get inactive a little bit at times, Ryan Garcia. Mm-hmm. And what's the name was just constantly on his head. You know what I'm saying? Paul was like stalking him. So there was a couple of rounds that it looked to me like Ryan Garcia, like he was running. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was getting frustrated, like, yo, come on. But it was part of his strategy. Mm-hmm. What I thought was great was he stayed in a character, brought all the theatrics to it, and then backed it up. See, that's what I used to like about Muhammad Ali, because he used to talk wild shit, but people love to see somebody back some shit up, mm-hmm. you know? And it's going to be, because, you know, the memes are crazy already. Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. I was going to be memes. But again, number one, I'm curious to see. And I like how Ryan Garcia was like, you want the rematch? Yeah, he got that. And walked off. I respected that. You know, I'm kind of confused about, because I remember he was running around for a second with Floyd, mm-hmm. and then he was dissing Oscar, but then they were back cool. So I didn't get that. I maybe I'm missing something there, you know. But they just brought a lot of drama. I really wanted to watch that fight. I wanted to see a good fight, and I saw an action-packed fight. Mm-hmm. I wasn't so happy with the undercards. I thought the undercards could have been better. Yeah. There were some good fights, but still I didn't know them at all. But overall, that was a great night for boxing. And it's going to be a lot of good pictures, a lot of good videos. You know, I have big respect for Devin Haney. And this is going to define him as a boxer, because sometimes that, you know, like how it seemed like Adrian after that fight with was that Mayorga? Was that Mayorga he fought? The tough nigga, that first time he lost, and it was all those memes about him. It seemed like he wasn't never exactly the same. You know what I mean? Like that fight.
The first loss, that's the look.
Sometimes. So this is Devin Haney's first loss. I think his father is going to be there to make sure that he remains strong. I think mentally, he's right, but he's going to have to run that back. And I'm curious to see what happens there when he runs that back strategically. I always wonder when he gets those specially made boots. Like I know the last one he had the Rick Owens, and this one he had the Fear of God. Like I'd be like, I wouldn't fight like a real fight in some first time. I'm sure he's probably worked out at them, but I would keep it traditional on the footwear. I wouldn't do that. And I just really curious to see how he bounces back. But I think they're keeping the sport of boxing exciting.
Exactly, they are.
You know what I'm saying? I probably want to go all the way down there. I'll get the bumps. And then it's just I'm curious to see what Ryan Garcia does. I know it's gonna be jokes. The rematch is gonna be jokes. Press conference, who he's gonna be after this. But he definitely took himself to a whole nother level, and it's gonna be a situation where a lot of people that were annoyed by him are now gonna respect him and become fans of his.
So let me ask you: do you feel the rematch should come first, or if Shakur came along and wanted to take Ryan, that should come first?
I mean, out of respect, I think the rematch, because he gave him the fight, so I think it's only right to do right by him. But I think Shakur needs. I want to see that fight. I want to see Shakur fight Tank, or fight Devin, or fight, or definitely fight now Ryan. Before I wasn't even worried about the Ryan Garcia thing with him. I wasn't worried about Ryan Garcia no more. But now I really want to see. I want to see Ryan Garcia fight him as well. Shakur, I'm very curious to see what that's gonna look like.
I think that's more
be about that action
style. You know what I'm saying? The same kind of style that Ryan has. They might say that Ryan has a little bit more power, but Shakur Stevenson, he's really a defensive mechanic. He doesn't
that
get
left
quick.
hook. That left hook Ryan got is different.
Yeah, it's quick, but I mean,
that's just it. But Shakur seemed like
he's shit.
Like fundamentally, when I saw the fight with Ryan Garcia and Tank, I didn't like the way he threw his punches. I didn't like the way he stood. Like there was some fundamental things.
I feel like he was beat from the jump.
But I started to figure that possibly Roy might have gave him some tweaks with doing that. Like I think there, that's what it seems like. It seemed like he was humble about going to do research and letting people teach him possibly on the low. But whatever he did, he went and looked like his shit wasn't together, and he must have went and got his shit together. He must have had a super top secret training camp. He must have had a sick strategy, or God just gave him superhuman powers and instinctually let him do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question. Who really had a gain? Who really had a lose for that fight right there?
I feel like Haney had more to lose because he didn't have a blemish on his record, and Ryan Garcia did.
I thought Ryan was doing it for a check. And I think regardless of what, like he's one of those fighters that even when he loses, he will be able to garnish a crowd because he's with the YouTubers and all of that. And plus he gives you enough, like that gray area of craziness, almost in like a Kanye kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But the fight game is exciting right now. That the next fight with Canelo and that other dude, I forgot his name just now, the other Spanish kid, that's gonna be a dog fight.
So you think about that Martin Davis?
Who?
Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin.
I mean, any Tank fight is gonna be a good fight, but both of those dudes seem like the other cat. From what I heard, I don't know as much about him.
Call himself Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost. He seemed like he ain't no joke. So I look forward to that.
And he's trained by the same guy that trained Ryan Garcia for this fight against Haney.
Oh shit!
And the same guy that trained Errol Spence for all those years. I'm gonna ask you this: do you think with that win last night that Ryan gained back fans that he lost from after the
I'm one of
Tank
them.
fight?
I was a fan of Ryan Garcia, but when he quit, I wasn't a fan. Well, when it looked like he quit, I wasn't a fan of that. And the shenanigans, I wasn't a fan of. Mm-hmm. Unless he did what he was, because he did what he was going to do, I respect all the shenanigans now. It was part of a psychological warfare, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? But he had lost me as a fan. But I'm back a fan.
So,
but I'm still a fan of Devin Haney.
So by you being an experienced boxer, but also guiding and always been a real supporter and advocate of boxing, and I know you were one of the first people that you were one of the people that promoted Berto and he got a shot against Mayweather.
After he fought me.
Like, if you had a fighter that just went through something Haney just went through, what would you say to them, or what would you make them do to get their confidence back and become that superior fighter that they were before they took their first loss? Because it seems like after a first loss, it's either you're going to bounce back or you're going to continue to fall. So what would you say to a boxer who, after they took their first loss, to continue to try to look at their career as, hey man, being dominant versus they don't have the same confidence in themselves and they really don't care what happens from there on out? Because some boxers think that taking the loss is the end of the world and the end of their career.
Well, taking a certain kind of loss. Like you never had shit broke on your face before, you never been down and all that. You might not like it. I've been in that situation before with a couple of fighters. You know, Jadon was down with the chin checkers, and you know it was his breakout fight on Showbox, and he got like it was bad. Like he got knocked out in a very bad fashion, and I honestly didn't know what to say though. You know, it was a, because you feel bad for the person because you know how much they thought they were gonna win and how disappointed they are, and you know, especially now with memes and all that shit. For me, I'd be like, it's part of the game, and you know, this is where you show if you really meant to be a boxer. And you know, the thing about someone that's thorough that people love is getting knocked, because people, same thing with Ryan Garcia. They're loving that he got knocked out or knocked down and people counted him out. And now he came back as the underdog and he really kicked some ass. Yeah, it was like a movie. And now that it's his turn to show who he is. So it's like, yo, if you're really the person that you said you've been, this is part of the game. And now you have to showcase, how you react to an L. Or is it going to be a learning experience, or did he put you out of business? But, if it's too much sadness going on, I'll be like, man, pull your skirt up. You know what I mean? We boxers. Like, I don't know that I would be so nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we boxers. It's not, this is boxing. So if you could only take your pause when you winning, then you wasn't never a real champ.
Yeah, losing, part of losing, it's a mental part, Now you got to bounce back. You got to bounce back. There's nothing too much you can say to a person like that, unless they have to go to their low corner. Some people use that as a fuel, and some people really put themselves down. If you're buying to the media, they're gonna tear you up. But like you said, if you got like a good support system behind you, people that support you, you got a good corner behind you, you'll bounce back. Look what happened Deontay Wilder. He ain't been the same. He
ain't been the same. He ain't been the same since he got caught twerking on the video. That's when he ain't been the same.
Hey, twerking,
man. No, for real, man. Right-handed guy. It's on. It's out there. It's on there. They caught him like it was like at the 4th of July. They were setting off fireworks and he was out there twerking. I was like,
I'm not gonna believe that.
Yeah.
But all that's part of that mental I'm talking about. Sometimes people lose. It's hard to be on top, and when you fall down, people look at you a certain type of way. It's like when you're winning, everybody pat you on your back. Good job. But when you fall down, the same people that pat you on your back, they turn their back on you now. They don't even look at you the same. You can see it. You can sense it. Man, you don't even say hi to me like they used to.
Well, I can say this, right? I could say, metaphorically speaking, that people may have seen me get knocked down, and it's never made me feel like, oh, I should quit or feel bad or there was never when, like, 'cause when you're in the newspaper every day or certain days and they're talking about things, I never feel embarrassed about it. I never feel like it's an L, because it's like, yo, unless you, for me, to get in the ring and be a professional, to be trained enough to even fight is a big deal. That's a W within itself. Yeah. And the only people that would laugh at somebody is someone that's never been in the ring. So if you've been a boxer, you know, and even you talk shit, really, after boxers fight, they give each other a pound out of respect because they went hard. And they respect it if you're going to get back in there and fight it out. Like, the more, losing isn't the worst thing in boxing if you gave 100. If you know, there's fights where people lose, but because, that's why I said with Devin Haney, I have a different respect for him because he didn't stay down. And he was fighting with that broken cheek. You know what I mean? And, he was pushing Paws forward to the bitter end. He didn't even want to blink his eyes when he fell that one time. He just looking at this nigga like,
he looked confused for a minute. Like,
no, he was definitely dazed. You know? And I definitely think that when someone, well, he didn't get knocked all the way out, but when someone does get knocked out, they shouldn't be doing the interview right after because it takes a minute to get your oxygen back together in your brain. Word. I got dropped once in boxing, and yeah, it took me a second to get my wits back. I'm not gonna lie. So I couldn't do the interview right after that. I was like,
do the interview after that.
You got your brain is shook. You gotta get your shit back together.
When you have when he was like 31-0.
Who?
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
You know, would there ever be another Floyd? That kid that, undefeated? You know, he's Tank the new Floyd.
Could be.
You know what I'm saying? Is he the next one?
Could be.
You know, because it's hard.
He be banging.
Just like you say, if I'm 31-0 and I lose a fight like this, mentally, bro, like if you're not strong mentally, it'll mess you up.
But you gotta be strong mentally to get to 31-0.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say.
That loss though is never good.
I mean, but a lot of people then took an L in life. Like y'all, both of y'all were just saying, it brings me to that point. There's nothing wrong about falling down. It's when you stay down that's the problem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong.
I believe this right here.
Because what I'm saying is,
Garcia up again, bro.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's
going. He up there.
But that's
he was
what
confident after losing. He didn't give a fuck.
Hey, he out there.
So
he was fucking
with him.
there
dancing with the man.
So that was the question that I was asking. Like, okay, he took an L. That's how you would want your fighter to respond after taking a loss and beating an undefeated person like that. That's how you would want to fight. That's why I was asking, like, what do you say? Because whatever was said to him, everybody just thought that he was scared and he didn't really want this fight, Devin Haney, because for so long they were having Devin Haney like in that weight class, pound for pound, the best.
Anybody that barks kind of see, they can smell the blood through the interview. A lot of times you can just like, I got you beat already. You know, and I think he kind of saw something like, oh, I think I got you. Because I remember Mike Tyson would say, when you get to the ring, he'll put his head down and then he'll just come up and look you dead in your eye. If you don't look at a lot of times, people, he said, if they twinge, you look away for a split second, oh, I got him. I got him. And I feel like Garcia kind of smelled that blood, like, I can whoop. Cause he touched him pretty decent. He was touching that man pretty decent.
So what fights? I mean, that was, I think so far probably the upset of the year. So what fights, you think need to happen then for the sport of boxing? That's it.
Who's Bud fighting next?
I remember they were trying to push the idea of him and Canelo.
That needs to happen.
I
would love to see that. And I want to see Paws. I think I don't want Bud to not fight for a while. I want him to keep fighting and until because I feel like he might have already proved certain things to himself. But I want to see him fight Canelo. I wouldn't. I would. I want to see him fight. For what I heard, they said Errol Spence didn't want to fight.
Yeah,
you said that, right?
He turned down the clause. So before Crawford and Spence fought, they had a clause in there like an automatic rematch no matter who wins or not. And after the fight, about 2 weeks after, he dropped this clause like, "Hey, man." So that's why he was going out to I forgot the fighter that he was trying to fight, and Bud chimed in on him, said, "You got to wait your turn."
I would want to fight him again anyway. The way he beat that man up.
I feel like that Haney and Tank fight still needs to happen, just because of the history behind it.
Tank and who?
Haney. You seen the tape?
Oh, that sparring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that fight.
You feel what I'm saying? Because Tank was getting the best on. They said AB jumped in, broke it up, and Bill told him, "Nah, man, nah, y'all don't break." And they supposedly were allowed to keep going, and they said Devin got the best of Tank. Hell, I had even heard that Frank Martin, who's Javante's next fight, they were saying in their sparring session that he got the best of Javante. But do y'all think that Javante is like pound for pound, like one of the biggest attractions, or the reason that boxing is coming back into one of its own, entertaining again? Because after Mike Tyson left, and Roy Jones Jr. I can say, was boxing ever the same?
He's definitely one of the reasons, one of the most relevant fighters, and definitely pay-per-view. I think I'm definitely watching that.
I just think it's cool as hell because you have Javante, Jerron Ennis, Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. A lot of these guys that are in the same weight class, and all those fights I feel like need to happen. I feel like all those fights in that division is the reason why boxing is at the place that it is right now.
But don't forget, it's a business too, man. Or the fight can't happen.
Right.
Because there's time in between those fights to make more money. You gotta hype it up a little bit more.
But I thought you make your money off the biggest
right
fights.
Now, Ryan Garcia is an attraction right now. Right now he can call out Tank Davis again. He can call out whoever right now.
But
because what just happened, it's a now. We live in the now moment. It's what's going on.
I feel like he's only allowed to call out a select few. He can't call out Tank already because whooped his ass. It's up to Tank if he want to take it.
He can because he got the fan base to do it.
Regardless of the fan, they had that clash before.
And the money to back it up.
So
it's business.
So do you think that Tank versus Garcia part 2 would be bigger than a Tank versus Haney?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now?
You got the whole Mexico behind him, bro. Oh yeah. You'll love to see that again.
So you don't think people with the same way that they tuned in and looked at Ryan Garcia?
Devin Haney doesn't have the social media presence that Ryan Garcia has.
But I mean that he brought the social media.
He got the Jake Paul crowd.
But that's what I'm saying. He brought the social media presence the first time they fought, and that was the outcome.
Yeah, but he just won again. Devin Haney just lost. So Devin Haney has to beat somebody. Pause.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like to get the Tank, he gotta get past Homie first. I think.
I feel like everybody thinking it'll be the same outcome.
How long we wait to see Mayweather fight Pacquiao? It was a long wait. That fight had to build up to where it was at right.
It didn't have to. That fight would have been.
It should have.
I wish it would have happened.
If it would have happened 3 years earlier than it did, a lot of people felt like it would have been a better challenge for Mayweather.
I'd like to see Pacquiao in his prime with a fight, but once again, when you on top, you understand. If I'm on top, I don't have to do that. Y'all need me.
But you should want to do it though. Like I know me. Like if I'm a champ, I want to fight everybody.
That's what I'm saying. And right now,
that I
Ryan
think
he nowhere close to being what Tank is. Like Tank would be the shot caller in that. Even if he called him out, Tank
well, what
would
he
be the
said
shot
it
caller.
depends on we would have to see maybe at a different weight. So if he's at if Tank would come up in weight,
What is he at? Like one?
Tank not gonna do that. Tank you.
What
Tank
about
on
130?
top. I'm on top. You need me. I
135?
don't
I
need
thought
you.
he was at 130, 135.
You need me. I don't need you.
Yeah, that's how Tank gonna look at it.
You should.
But he also tweeted out that he still gonna get niggas that was talking shit. I just like this banner and the boxers that we have out here right now. I'm loving the sport of boxing. I feel like everybody loses. Every day is not your day. You gotta lose in order to win. Or to know how to win. And I feel like he can and he will redeem himself. I feel like this just really opens the door up for so much in boxing, so many others to get a shot and really just put the fights out there that people really want to see. But there's also another fight that's going down right now, and that's in the hip hop game. We got a lot, and I mean a lot, of diss tracks being released, being put out there, and it's even bringing R&B dudes to the table, displaying their lyricism as a rapper. And the latest one was the Quavo diss from Chris Brown, and I thought it was a banger. What would be your take on it, Dame?
well, I mean, Chris Brown's a singer
Mm-hmm.
and rapper, so that's kind of dope. And so again, kudos to Kendrick Lamar because I feel like he brought the essence of rap back, and
Shout out
everyone's
to
battling. But the surprise factor is left now. So no one was expecting a diss track. Man, I'm like expecting a diss track from people every day. And then the AI, cause I'm still not clear if that Kendrick Lamar record is AI or not. Like I hear one thing, I hear another thing, and I don't like that. And then did Drake come out with another diss record with AI?
He
Snoop
put
and
AI Tupac on it.
Yeah, so a lot of that's happening.
Mm.
I feel like people have been internalizing a lot. And this was a time and a moment of hip hop therapy where everyone can air out what's bothering them about the other counterpart or peer in hip hop. And again, for me, it's as long as, no one gets hurt. Chris Brown went hard and he said some real slick shit.
Yeah.
And, in battling, that's why I probably wouldn't want to be a battle rapper because you have to turn the other cheek for shit that be real fucked up.
Yeah.
You be real too.
But you gotta be back.
He had a line.
Well, that's why we don't want
to the real fucked
that was
up.
real. So, again, as long as it doesn't get crazy. But it even got singers rapping. And is that one with Kanye real? Is that one real? That's right. Now I don't know what's real and what's not real. So, even Kanye jumped in it. Pause. And that's what hip hop's supposed to be. It's like lyrical boxing. And I'm a fan of boxing, so of course I'm going to be a fan of the battles. And that is the essence of hip hop because there was a moment in time where it didn't matter if you could rap or not. It was almost like cool to not be able to rap, and that had real lyricists fucking sick. That phase of when everyone was a SoundCloud rapper.
Everybody was a rapper.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you had no skills. Just
it was like a difference. I feel like what's the name of them?
One was real.
It wasn't. I feel like the what's the name of them brought big in bringing like real rap back into mainstream. What's that? West Side Gun and them? What's them?
Conway the
Blanco,
Machine.
what's it?
Griselda Blanco.
Griselda, right?
Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, I like how they brought it back.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought it back with that.
A good job of getting that like.
Shout out to Buffalo, New York, man.
Smoke Dizzy had brought one of them around early on before they started rolling, and they were still rolling. I forgot he was rolling already, so they were still fly. They were already fly. But yeah, you know, Rick Ross keeps getting at you know, Drake.
I feel like now that
it's
part,
like
now put that
everyone
part
is
right
shooting
there.
at everybody. Like I don't know who's mad at who. I can't keep up with it now. You know, and again, it would be great just to see them really do a tour together and just battle that way as well.
Get
some
money.
money.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even after the diss with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, I saw a video where they actually Kendrick brought out J. Cole in his concert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he broke him. For me, that's all the way clear. He just broke him all the way down. Like battle him, made him throw in the white flag, and then had him perform. And this respect, and you know, it's the high road and bigger picture, I guess. But again, I didn't feel like there was anything that was. Again, I don't know the dynamic, so I would have liked to kept seeing them battle. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see back and forth, but fuck it. You know, that's just me as a fan. As a fan, I respect them both as lyricists, so I wanted to see. I don't know. There's an arrogance you want to see with the heavyweight champ, just like there's an arrogance you want to see with the heavyweight champ of rapping right now, which is what everybody seems to be, you know, battling for.
So who is the heavyweight champ of
What I mean, you mean like who has the best diss track?
Who's the heavyweight right now? Who's on top? Not necessarily who got the best diss track, but who's really on top? Who's the main guy?
I think Drake is the main guy. But I think that's the guy that they're trying to get. That's what they're trying to take down. But you can't knock Future. You know,
I don't think they have that title no more.
Who?
I don't think they really have the title no more of like who's the top guy, because we got over 2 million wannabe rappers out here.
Yeah, but there's somebody get like there was a second that Little Baby was up there. Like everything
that's what I'm saying. Dirt.
People are getting people are having a run.
Yeah.
So it's like
Young Boy, Kodak.
It's almost like MMA. Like, you know, you could be the champ one day and be knocked right the fuck out the next, and then come right back and be the champ again.
Yeah, you know but I mean? That's what I'm saying. What is your personal favorite that you would say? I know you like Ross.
You like Ross,
I'm saying his diss track. I felt like when we were talking about it last time, you was like, yeah, he came with it. I know you like his.
Who got the best diss track?
Yeah.
But it's hard now, pause, because then the element of surprise and coming out of nowhere is to me is the best shit. Like being the first to swing on a nigga first.
He didn't even know it was coming.
And no one knew, ayo. No one knew. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to recreate that moment.
Yeah, I like what
that moment of surprise. But if somebody puts a diss record out tomorrow, there's no surprise. It's like, all right.
Yeah,
but
everybody's doing
now, everyone's doing it now, so it doesn't stand out as much right now.
But he doing like 50 Cent was doing back in the days, though. He trolling him. Rick Ross. He ain't just put out a diss track. He put a video out.
Oh, no, he's making it a lifestyle. Yeah,
he like, man.
But I wouldn't use that analogy. Well, I wouldn't use that. But see,
that's not
using
rap.
that analogy right there.
That's trolling.
Why would you copy the same cat that killed you? So how would that be looked at? You doing what the last guy who beefed with you did with you and put you out of here, and now they're making the comparison that you doing it the same way. Can you respect that?
I see your point right now. I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Because like you said, he's doing what 50 Cent did was trolling, but 50 Cent bodied him by trolling. So it's like, okay, did you take that L and said, okay, I'm gonna use the same technique on somebody else?
Man, when you say he bodied him, right? So who's more relevant right now? 50 or Rick Ross? At this moment right now, who's more relevant? Because if Rick Ross still
I think Rick Ross is still staying relevant for the comments that he's making and the banter of the back and forth for what him and Birdman is going through. That's why you can really say he was relevant.
Because you can say 50 Cent body, what you call it?
50 Cent body, Ja Rule.
Ja Rule, he can say that. He done. He destroyed his career. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't think he body. Hold on. And you don't think? I think Rick Ross's on was worse because I go and get your baby mom, take her shopping, make her supposedly sex tape with her. You feel me? Around your son or your kid, and now she's even online 24/7 bashing you. You don't see no other rapper baby mama doing that.
Who came out on top?
He made a sex tape with her?
Allegedly. They say. Yeah. Allegedly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, can you get props for copying the dude that body you?
The whole industry copy each other.
Nah, that like you said,
Then
you said it. You said it. You said I think he's doing what 50 Cent does. And it's like, so can you imitate? Like that's just like, okay, you get in a fight, dude whoops your ass, and you're like, damn, he whooped my ass, and you keep watching how he whooped your ass, and you're like, hey man, the way he whooped my ass, I'm finna go try to whoop somebody else's ass like that.
You like that? You like that?
Paul, you feel what I'm saying? Like, can you respect that day? Or would you take that as a learning curve?
Yeah, I guess it's learning. It depends on what you consider a battle. Is a rap battle lyrics or is a rap battle trolling? Or is it all part of it? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Okay, I get that.
You know, it depends on what you call a W there. But
yeah, there's different ways to be the person in battle.
Is it a lyrical thing or is it
rather than lyrical? Okay, I get you.
You know what I mean?
When you got a receipt, you can do that.
50 Cent do too.
When you got a receipt, you can do that. You can battle them and you gonna troll them. Because everything you say, you're gonna back it up. That's how you hurt somebody. Like, remember that time? Yeah, I hate you with that. Remember this? I hate you with that. You can't say nothing.
Like when that question I just asked you, which one you think? I'm still go with that one from Metro Boomin and Future and K Dot.
Yeah, that's the original.
I would say that he's winning the battle all the way around because
right now,
yeah, kind of like what
Danny
said. Like he hit niggas and cats ain't even know what hit him. He started it. He was caught, and now everybody and their mama want to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying. You know, he brought back old school hip hop with that. And we'll see how long it lasts, and hopefully again it stay to the vinyl. You know, but while all that's going on, there's still issues. You know, I went to
the jail in Chicago.
To the jail in Chicago, they didn't let us in.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, you know, I've been talking about these things for a while.
For those that didn't get a chance or couldn't catch you talking about it again, like tell them what you went out to Chicago for, what was going on out there, because I think I feel like this is an important issue, just like you said, and everybody needs to hear on every platform.
Well, I've been going to the kids jail in Chicago, you know, based on my relationship with Principal McGrone, who I met at the OSG summit at Columbia about a year ago. And I went to the jail, and what I saw was like, you know, modern day, like torture, like insane asylum shit. And I have enough, like I don't have confidence in everything, but I just don't think that any human being that could see what was going on would still be all right with it. So I thought it was important to bring awareness to it. And the Principal McGrone was, you know, he's a principal in there, and it's, you know, it's been really, like he's the kind of guy that when he sees, and I am too, a child hurt, it hurts him. And he has to see it day in and day out, and you know we talk about it. And when you see things and hear things, it's hard to just ignore it. So my thing was to try to change it, to bring awareness to the people that are cutting the checks, and make sure that the money is spent right. But it just seems like there's an intention to keep these kids, you know, coming back to jail, you know, and getting used to it. So I went to Chicago to go into the jail because we found the principal called me, told me there's a bunch of mold in there, and I know what mold can do to you because I had to move out my crib in Beverly Hills because of mold. So Beverly Hills mold will kill you. You know, Chicago jail mold will definitely kill you. So I was like, this is urgent. They might not realize it. So we called the senator in the district, and you know she did a spot check. And then we arranged to go for all to do a spot check, bring some awareness to it. And as a result, like we went there, they didn't let us in. You know, had Black Panthers out there. you know, FOI, you know, Fred Hampton Jr., the chairman. And that was ill because I have pictures of Black Panthers, his father being one of them on my wall. And you know, Jamal Joseph made me an honorary Black Panther, so it was like I was putting my Black Panther work. And, um, you know, Farrakhan and his whole crew, you know, I feel like they always going to make sure I'm all right if they can. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they thought maybe things might get a little crazy, but I didn't think so. I came with my family, my son and Raquel, Nicolette, you know, and they locked us in the jail, and I know I didn't like that because my son was in the car and Rocky was in the jail with us taking pictures. Not in the jail, they didn't let us up, but in the like lobby, and that was a situation. But at the end of the day, they did do a little investigation. It did seem like maybe, hopefully, there'll be some help. It might not go as quick as I want, but you know, the principal flew out here so that I could bring a direct awareness to people who otherwise wouldn't be thinking about what's going on with our children when we don't see. You know, so Principal McGrone came out here, and I was able to really talk to him. And I wanted him to come out here and detach because I saw how the shit was getting to him. Like, you know, what I was explaining is like, if you don't like going to jail and you're not a criminal, having a job where you go to jail every day is just like being on work release. Like, you know, you going to jail for every day. You gotta get locked into jail just like them every day. You can't go out unless they let you out. You gotta smell what they smell, eat what they eat, breathe whatever air they breathe. So that can wear on you as well. And the effect that the mold and the carpet and you know, just watching kids get abused, you know, that becoming your normal. I just felt like it was important maybe for him to just come out, look at the lake, relax, and detach. Yeah, and it really was good for him. And then we were able to talk about what had happened, what we want to do, because it's not about complaining; it's about coming with a plan. We all know the problems, but you know, it's always like, why won't somebody fix it? No, you can know the problem. Why the fuck won't you fix it? So while everyone's out there bullshitting, and you know, I'm still curious to know what's going on with all the stuff I'm hearing about the other bullshit, but no one's saying shit. So everyone's so quiet right now. I'm like, yo, you know, at least maybe I might see somebody run up in a school or go up in and bring awareness to a jail or something. But my issue is that not issue is just I'm just very surprised that the news isn't picking this up, that other people aren't picking this up that have celebrity, and I know they all on my Instagram, so it's like I just feel like there should be more support. And what I'm trying to showcase is how us as a culture, hip hop, freedom, like-minded thinking people, if we come together and combine all our platforms, we don't need them and we can control the narrative.
Every time. Every time.
That's the reason for having a network. So if Fox News or CNN or whoever won't talk about it, America New will. Mm-hmm. And if they won't showcase the people that are fighting for us when no one's watching, like a principal or a senator that's passing a law or a mayor or anybody, then it's our job to do that. It's not their job to showcase our heroes. It's our job to showcase our heroes. It's like saying I'm depending on somebody else's father to take care of my kid or to showcase or brag about my history. I'm going to brag about my history. I ain't going to be mad if another culture don't brag about me.
Facts.
You ain't got time to brag about you and me because I ain't got time to brag about you and brag about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of the fundamental problems with what's going on in the jails is the laws that come with it. So legislatively, we have to understand how to lobby for something and make it a law.
Yeah.
That, you know, someone should be able to go up in the jail and do a spot check. You know, that carpet should have to be changed every certain amount of time, and education should be, you know, there's just certain things or certain food, but unless it's in law, you can't enforce it. You could only be mad at it. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out what laws can we construct to protect not only the children, but the people that work there as well. there needs to be some legislation. And people think it's far fetched. It's not hard to get a law passed if you know how to do it. It's just they don't teach us that. And now is when all the shit that I've been talking, I have to showcase that I'm doing that walking as well. I'm not gonna talk about all these problems and not be doing something about it. And that's what bugs me out is people talk all this shit about how difficult I am. Ask the principals how difficult I am. Ask the kids in the jail how difficult I am. Ask everyone that I work with that's not trying to rob somebody how difficult I am. But tell me which one of y'all so-called heroes is running around the schools for free reading books to kids and teaching them how to dream.
Facts.
That even give a fuck. Like, I don't have to leave this lake.
Facts.
Life is good out here. It's really good. I could live out here forever and live a luxurious life. House is big enough. I got all the things I need, and my son is, I'm able to enjoy raising my child. I don't have to leave this bubble.
But you care.
It's like how you just yeah. Mm-hmm. I've always looked for a roadmap to help. So if I get it, then I got to use it. I'm not going to walk away from things just because I got out of there. But the thing about it is what got me out of there is my culture. My culture funded my move from one social class to another, from the 99% to the 1%. So I'm going to forget about the people that got me there?
That's powerful, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just bad karma. So I just believe that when no one's watching, God is. And you are God, and you're the only one that can see what you really do and feel. So I got to do what I know is right. And if I turn and look the other way, my conscience won't let me do that. Like, I'm not going to hurt myself to help. But if it don't hurt me to just go and spend some time with some kids, if it don't hurt me to go teach some kids how to dream, to bring awareness to a city, I can walk in and out of there. That's not my lifestyle being in, visiting jails. It's when I'm in Chicago, I go over there. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm there, I'll go over there. But if that's all it takes to make a kid and change the trajectory of his life, give him some confidence, why wouldn't I do it? But the question is, why don't everybody else do it that got it like that? Because you know why? The same people that are putting them there are the people that want you to help them put us in them jails. To reinsure the division and make us want shit that we don't need and make us fight each other to get it and go to jail, like make that all right. To make a kid think that it's all right to go to jail and that's normal in the form of music and entertainment is a very strategic thing.
And they're good about that. And I think a lot of people that have been in prison, they want a voice. They want somebody like you. What you're doing right now, it's like it's going to inspire a lot of people because they've never been heard. You lock them up. A lot of times, once you lock them up, it's like society forget about them. They treat people like trash in prison system. They forgot they're human beings.
So how would they get it started?
I want to inspire more people that have celebrity to leverage to bring awareness to the things that count and matter. That's what I want to be contagious. And that, so you got to remember, if you can fix a kid, then you're fixing a future adult. And what people don't understand is if you got a traumatized kid on the street and that traumatized kid comes around a non-traumatized kid, by the time that traumatized kid leaves, that non-traumatized kid will be traumatized, and that could be your kid. That's so the safer or the more we help our hurt children, the less children that aren't hurt will get hurt by children that are hurt. You know what I mean? It just will make the world a better place. But again, this is 2024. The shit that I'm seeing, it just shouldn't be taking place. It's at least not in this year of awareness and the things that we know that we can do, the freedom that we're supposed to have, not in America. So, I hate to deal with conspiracy theories and da-da-da-da. I'm going to just assume that if I bring something to your attention, make you aware that you're cutting $100 million a year to to rehabilitation and it's not happening and it's not going to the right places, just make sure it does. That shouldn't be a big deal, you know. And I'm asking for everyone that has any celebrity leverage, especially if you're in Chicago, go check on that jail. And anybody in their local spot. I suspect that this is happening everywhere, you know, because no one's looking. You know, once they close them doors and lock them, you can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's it.
Beat them up.
So those, not to cut you off, those that don't have celebrity status, but still want to help out in a way to try to stop this, because like you said, it's not just going on in Chicago, it's going on other places. What would they need? What should they do, or how can they make a difference in that? Because
if you go and check on them, if you could, and then go to your local city council, congressman, senator, you just start getting them educated on what needs to happen and what laws need to be drafted up to try to put on the floor to get passed. And then you got to lobby. It's just about, you know, the people's court is stronger than people know. Mm-hmm. So if there's an overall public awareness and an agenda to help a certain thing, then people have to start looking under the hood. So like I said, there was an investigation immediately. Mm-hmm. And I know that they did the investigation based on whatever allegations allegedly I was saying that I knew I heard was going on. Mm-hmm. So I know I did trigger something and they are trying to help. Now, I'm going to wait and see what they do after this. Mm-hmm. But again, it's not like I'm trying to like punish nobody. I'm just bringing awareness. And it's like, yo, I'm just assuming they don't know what's going on. And if I can't get to them, if I can't get to Carmela or to Joe, or whoever's going to get there, maybe someone else can tell them based on what they heard what I said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like you said, you come with your own army, and like, it's happening all over America, and people want to build their own army, and we need an army to come together as one for not just one state, everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone should holler at me. Mm-hmm. If you know of an injustice that's happening in the market, I could probably get to the senator or to that congressman. I could figure out what district, and we can make some changes.
Because I know down here, there are a lot of people that want to get in and change the conditions. But one thing they always shoot us down with is that we're a felon. You can't go in, you can't even go visit them. You can't do anything on FDOC department.
I'm finding where I'm having the most success with is black public officials. You know, black principals, black senators, black congressmen. You know, that's why I go with, at first I'm going to go where they're going to let me. And then again, once the army builds up and it's become something more national, then what I want to do is make whatever excuse that someone is having is telling to try to hide the fact that they're abusing kids, I want to make them hot. I want them to be like, you better say something different. We already heard that one. I want them to be prepared for the curve, for the pivot, you know.
I mean, because that's a big issue, man. And I'm glad that we have someone bringing awareness to it just as a culture, because you got to think about it. This has been going on for so long. And if he would have never ringed the alarm on it, or someone wouldn't have never visited that youth prison in Chicago, then they wouldn't have probably never moved a finger. They probably wouldn't have never looked into the situation. And that just attributes to a lot of the deaths of our young African Americans.
The recidivism rate. It's the cycle of us keep hurting each other.
Yeah, the cycle. Yeah, you know, the drugs that they're pushing into their system, and saying that you have to complete this program, and they're putting drugs in our kids' system, and the living conditions, living in black mold, and it gets to the point where these kids at a young age are thinking that this is normal.
I got about 4 or 5 friends of mine growing up that went to the pen. When they got out, never been the same. Mentally, they been the same. Stuff that went in there, they don't want to talk about it. You know, it's like they don't have a voice. They feel like nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody's going to believe me when I tell you what really going on. When I get jacked up and beat up, You know, when I get put in a hole for 30, 90, 100 days.
Because
come on, no human being should be in a situation like that.
Yeah, but that's what I said. They kind of keep treating that as the norm. They kind of keep.
They don't let you know.
Yeah.
They hide it.
Yeah, and then you
don't want to have to go to jail to find out.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Like,
but I bet you if a lot of these kids knew really, before they got used to it, because again, it's like they get them used to this shit. But if kids knew exactly with not having any control at all, getting handcuffed and beat up, and not being able to just have clean water, good food, or
recreational space,
none of that shit, you might not do the things, or you
you
might not be down. Because for me, it's like in the street. For me, it was like I was never scared to do something to nobody or do nothing. I would just didn't want to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck wants to give up their freedom and be told what to do and shackles and beat up? Like, what's worth that? Like, why? So yeah, I am scared of jail. I don't want to go to jail. That's why I quit hustling. You know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, I'm not gonna snitch. So, and I don't want to do a bid, so I might as well not do it at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's no common ground there. Like,
you think about like some of the OGs and what you was when you being young and you seeing what they're going through, or just seeing how the world is changing is one of the things that made you back away.
Hell
and say like, nah, if this is the result of this, nah, I ain't.
The pay in the full situation was the icing on the cake for me. You know what I'm saying? We got it. Look good. It was the pay to, seeing people. It wasn't like you couldn't tell me I had to see it pour. You know what I mean? So seeing people get killed, seeing people go to jail, seeing kids get kidnapped and shit like that, all that type shit is what made me quit. I just was like, nah, I like having fun too much to fuck up the fun. So that's what I always tell my children: don't fuck your fun up. So if you like girls and you like going to the party, you cannot do that in jail.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. 100% right. Some people, because nowadays, like I said, going to prison for a lot of these kids, they seem like they have to go there to earn their stripes. It's like almost, if you don't go to jail, they're not considering you real. And I think that's real stupid, but that's the narrative. But I'm just saying that's the narrative that they're pushing because, okay, one person that we know had one of the biggest followings going on in this world right now, and that's NBA YoungBoy. He has a following like no other, and here it is that he's arrested again. I hope they free him. If he's innocent, I hope they free him. No, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But when they see him going through that, going in and out, they're thinking like that's the only way I'm gonna be considered real, but they're not realizing that, these are real life problems. This is not no prop that I'm just going to jail to try to sell no records. You get what I'm saying? And now kids are feeling like if NBA young boy can go to jail that many times, I can go to jail that many times and I'm gonna be all right. That's the psyche. I have a 15-year-old son. They have these group chats, and you'll hear some of these kids in there talking just like that, congratulating shit like that.
But that's what happened when we don't own our own industry, when we don't control our own music, where somebody else tell us what we need to do, what music we need to put out. It's a lot of time it's affecting no other culture but our own culture. And that's why, like Dan said, let's make it awareness. Let's come together. Let's take control of this. That's the only way we can change it. We gotta take control.
And I think this is a subject that should be not too hard to come together on, because we even said that not even a month ago, you seen bitch ass niggas team up. So how in the hell, real people can't team up, but you got bitch ass niggas teaming up. And they're being successful at what they're trying to do. And that's knock you off the map.
The crazy thing is, guys like NBA YoungBoy, even though he was out, he wasn't free. He wasn't free to be himself. I heard he was living with with a family that wasn't even his family.
Yeah.
Hiding from the truth out there. A lot of times
He's been on house arrest since 2021.
Yeah, he realized some of these music is impacting the youth in a negative way, and he'll say it himself. Don't do what I'm talking about. Don't do what I do. Don't do what I rap about.
You think that was a setup on his end?
Well, I think when you keep somebody on house arrest for a couple of years, you waiting for him to do something.
Oh yeah, setup.
It's a setup to make him. They're like, let him out one more time. He can never get out. So,
and he's trying to basically say like it's all a lie. But I don't know.
It's just he's a young cat.
Yeah.
And with a lot of bread, and he earned it first generation with no guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's coming out of real survival mode, like real shit. Like them niggas is real. Like them young niggas. The shit that I be hearing, way more gangster than I ever was.
But I think
meaning like putting in like movie work, like it's like a whole movie. It's like, yo, these kids are really, it's serious. You know, it's a lot of trauma that comes with that situation, and he doesn't hide it. You could see how it affects him. It seems like he would prefer that not be the case, but he just doesn't seem like he's gonna be trying to be a victim of it.
It's just like somebody crying for help.
Yeah, it does seem. It seems a lot like.
Now, try to take me. Really, I'm trapped. Come help me. Come help me.
I never looked at it from that perspective right there. But I just look at that he's a young man that's highly talented. He's been on house arrest since 2021. Here it is, 2024. And, you know, him being that young, I think he's like 22, 23 years old. And having that much clout to back him and being arrested like that, like it's okay. Those are real life situations that he's dealing with.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think that the narrative of that it's okay is being pushed. I just think he's just is celebrated, you know, like people, like the younger cats.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, like if I was a young kid and I wasn't trying to do that, he would scare me.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, I don't want that because of what he has. I don't want to go to jail. If being a rapper means I got to get locked up in the house and be isolated and have to be worried about, you know, getting killed or killing the people, my friends getting shot and girls getting killed next to me and all that, who the fuck wants that? So for me, it almost feels like it makes a lot of kids, because I'm like, right now, if my son or my young kid or anyone young around me was like, or my daughters was like, I go out with like a drill rapper or one of those, I would be scared for her life.
Facts.
Because she could catch a stray.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, or if my son was like, I'm going to be a rapper, I'd be like, nah, bro. Because then I got to send police with you and shit. You know what that is? To be a rapper right now?
Yeah, they're down
so to me, it's like, I don't see how anyone could look at going to jail as glorious. I don't see how being isolated and not being able to enjoy your money could be looked at as an aspirational thing. Like, oh shit, I want to go to jail.
Yeah,
like when I went to jail,
you would only figure that by.
I did a skit bit on Rikers, and I remember, you know, like a weekend, and somebody like, y'all niggas don't do this. Like really proud that he knows how to jail. I'm like, that's not a stat to me to be like proud to say I've been to jail a lot. Like, and that now you've been there so much that you know how to maneuver so well. I'm not used to jail. I don't want to get used to jail. It's not my norm. It means I'm not a good criminal if I keep getting caught. Why would I keep breaking laws? You know what I'm saying?
You're right about that. But there are some people that...
It's just the perspective on the way. It's really how your parents tell you should look at things.
Mm-hmm. How jail become a cool place to go?
It's never been a cool place to go. It's a cool place to survive. It's only cool after you've been there and back. You know, like, oh, you survived it. Like, again, in a world where men can be either fooled, preyed, or preyed on.
Yeah.
You got to act tough. A lot of toughness comes from fear. Like, a lot of niggas be pussy acting tough. a lot of people wasn't tough, and because they were so scared, they got tough. I've seen that happen. Like, this nigga was a punk, and now he's a killer. But he was a killer because he had to be, or else they was going to kill him. Definitely. So, you know, overall, breaking laws is not the norm. You know, going to jail should not be part of, when you have a child, you don't be like, yo, I'm going to make, he might have to do a quick bid as a part of his life. You don't want that for your child.
You shouldn't, but
you would never want that for your child. And even if, especially if you've been to jail, you shouldn't want your kid to go to jail. You should do everything you can do to get your kid out of that environment so that they don't even think that that's normal. But jail should not be normal. Walking around shooting somebody should not be normal. You know, it's just, it's just, especially when it comes to us hurting our family. We're all brothers. Hurting someone that's supposed to be your family should never be celebrated, but the way we've been programmed intentionally to keep us divided so we don't stick together and go against them, the 99%, look what 99% would look like against 1%. It would be a wrap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, this shit hurt, man. I done fucked my finger up. So, again, as far as the younger rappers, I always look at it like, yo, they're young. They're first generation. I can tell you right now, unless somebody teaches you how to have money, it's hard to keep it. And if you're used to doing things illegally, sometimes it's hard to stop because you're just used to it, you know? But, you know, I try not to judge the younger cats because I know what I did when I was in survival mode, you know? But I know that certain things happen at a young age. Like, you know, when Rich got killed and his little brother got kidnapped, it was like, I want to make a movie about this. At a young age, I quit and I'm going to make a movie about this because I know how bad it made me feel, even though it didn't happen to me. Just observing that. I'm going to make a movie about it so other people may think twice before they approach that life.
And I think that's one of the movies that a lot of people can relate to because a lot of us come from that background. But man, I thank y'all guys tonight, man. This is American New Network. Like I said, download, share, subscribe to our YouTube page. Tell everyone about it. We're #1 trending when we're not even trending. This is Greg G, Relate to Greg, with another episode of Chopping It Up in the books. Y'all stay tuned to everything that we release. We just posted the Nicki Legit video scenes from from Friday night.
Oh no,
check them out.
We released Redemption, and we just finished the edit for the release party for Punch You in Your Face, and now we got to edit up the release party for Redemption. But you know, we about to go on this tour. You know, that's another thing I wanted to say real quick before we leave is that Blue Rock is a boutique label. And my business model isn't a bunch of streams and becoming like pop culture famous. It's more like a touring situation where we'll always have the venues filled because we're giving a great show. Mm-hmm. And I don't dictate the success of a single by how many streams it has. It's about how well the show is performed. Mm-hmm. And you know, I got like, there's Nicki Legit, there's Micah Da Vinci, Christian Ray from Canada, Booster from Detroit, Kitty Red from Indianapolis. I got the project with Freeway with the Black Guns. I got you know Trip Summit. I got a kids album. Like literally, I got 15 albums to put out.
Facts. And
I don't want to get a record deal. I am a record deal.
Facts.
I'm gonna determine, like, you know, I want to make sure that we all live a nice, balanced, healthy life and make money, but don't never have to deal with no weirdo shit.
Facts.
And you know, I don't know, man. I try to create an environment that's just filled with walls of love. It's just like a bubble, and I just want to take that bubble everywhere I go. And if you're about that life, about, respecting the art, being independent, not hurting your brother, not being on the bullshit, laughing, being healthy, then you could be a part of that bubble. But if not, the fuck out of here. Pause. You know what I mean?
American New Network, best network trending. Like I said, download, share, tell everybody to subscribe to our YouTube page.
And I'm on my way to Washington to talk to the congressman about this.
Got so much going on. Y'all stay tuned, man. Like I said, we outside.
Outside. Holla.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, God forgive me, I was leaning, I'm straight. Hey, give me power every hour, every day. I'm gon' make the play, you can put it on my face. These growing pains, feeling sane, it ain't safe, I need redemption. I need redemption. I need redemption. I need redemption.
I tried to build you up, you crumbled at the foundation. I mourned you like you died and now we gotta cremate it. I shed my blood, sweat and tears like we're related. I threw this party of the year, will you please make it? I leveled up to solve the problems that we created. Want me to beg for your love till my knees aching. Put the world in a safe, it can't be shaken. I remain gracious, cannot defeat greatness. I can't sleep anxious, take this lightsaber. Still standing, I've been higher than the skyscraper. If you ever fuck with me again, you won't have a good and you'll never do that shit again.
God forgive me, I was leaning, I'm straight. Hey, give me power every hour, every day. I'm gon' make the play, you can put it on my face. These growing pains, feeling sane, it ain't safe, I need redemption. I need redemption. I need redemption. I need redemption. I say this beat so dope, grab a pen and a pad. Okay. Flow so sick, I be sunning your dad. All black sprinter van, I ain't calling a cab. But I know how it feel when you finish it last. I only had a gym pass just to take me a bath. Couldn't tell nobody that, cause they'll probably laugh. Put it on the whiteboard, they ain't drawing the grass. I pray to God, yeah, cause she gon' give me my path. Redemption, stay lifted. I ain't gotta lie, yeah, cause I lived it. God, forgive me for my sins, I'm tempted. Cause I'm a living testimony, this ain't scripted. Okay, God forgive me, I was leaning, I'm straight. Hey, give me power every hour, every day. I'm gon' make the play, you can put it on my face. These growing pains, feeling sane, it ain't safe, I need redemption.